back to another craft with me video. Today, I'm gonna be trying out this Poppin Cookin candy kit. I've seen a lot of them online and I have always wanted to play it myself, so today we'll be doing just that. I've chosen a total of 4 different boxes to play with. We'll start with the burger set, followed by the ice cream, then the party pack, and ending off with the chocolate fondue. Timestamps and product links are in the description below. Let's start off with the burger one. At the back of the box, you will see the step-by-step instructions. When you open it up, don't just rip the packaging. So this one, just be careful. You'll see the dotted lines on the packaging, so just use the scissors to cut them up. We'll be using the packaging for placing all the food and stuff. Once you have all the ingredients out, basically what you want to do is to look at the back of the box for the instructions. If you don't understand Japanese, don't worry, I don't too. I simply look at the images and use my interpretation skills. So for this video, I try not to do a tutorial style but more of a narration style of how I feel about it. Okay, so you will see that I've prepared water. That's basically what you need. And the triangular thing that I just poured water into, that's basically like a mini measuring scale. So I'm trying this out for the very first time and trying to figure out where these go, where that goes. So for the first set, you will see that I made a lot of mistakes. So right now we are doing the French fries one. I will recommend you doing it like in the kitchen or the living room where you allow some space for mess, because all the powder is just flying everywhere. So for the stirring part, also try not to stir too vigorously. If not, all the powder will actually go onto the table. But if you don't mind, then just stir as you wish. Okay, so for the stirring part, a trick that I've came to realize is that for the measuring scale, you cannot put very little water. You have to fill it till the brim for it to work. Okay, so this one is a bit like baking. If there's not enough water, then the powder won't turn into dough. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is trying to put the dough into the mold to make the fries. So I'm trying to use the spatula to spread it, use my fingers. Actually, fingers is the most useful tool of all. The spatula is a bit small. I actually have to clean a lot of time of the spatula. So for the French fries, you also need to use the microwave. So this part you have to be extra careful, if not it will burn. So I burned it a little and it hardened, which is why for the next part it's a bit hard for me to cut it up. So that part, just be careful. I think you have to cut around like you have to wait around 20 to 30 seconds and then you take it out. Don't cook it for too long. So right now I'm trying to use the knife that they provide to cut it into fries. I managed to get a couple of really good one, but the rest, it was actually like super burnt, so I couldn't get as much fries out. So I kind of give up here and tried using scissors to cut the fries to see if I can get any more fries out. Of course, if you do the microwave part properly, this part shouldn't be a problem, but I burned it, so I'm trying to use a scissors to salvage this mistake. You can see that they are turning to pieces. Christ. So yeah, I managed to get 2 more short one out, and then I basically throw the rest away. By the way, all of these are edible. But they're really, really sweet. That's why it's called a candy kit, because candy are meant to be sweet and they're edible. Okay, so let's clean up the table a little bit. That's why I say it will get a little messy, but you know, playing time is always messy. The next part, we're gonna do the meat of the burger. That's why we're using the brown one. So we're using another molding tray. So just pour the powder out, put the measuring water in. So in the image, they will actually tell you how much to use. So for this one, it's 2. So we have 2. And then just use the spatula to stir it again. Basically, it's like a repeat of this for all the ingredients depending on what you are making. So you can see that the spatula, like they're all sticking onto the spatula. So basically you just keep stirring until like they all stick together, a little bit like baking. Yeah. And then once it's up, you can just take it out and use your hand. Yep, and then roll it into a ball, and then we are basically putting it in the other mold for the round shape. So just press it in. And then we are gonna do the bread this time round. It's the exact same thing. So just put the powder, put the water, mix it, and then put it inside the mold. So for this part, we are putting them equally into the 2 remaining molds of the tray. So try to spread it out evenly, if not the bread will be uneven. This is also another small mistake I made. So if you can't tell already, I'm a little bit OCD, so I'm gonna clean up the table a little bit. And here's a close-up of how they look like, and we're gonna pop it into the oven. And this is how it looks like after popping into the oven. So this part I make another mistake. You have to really put the entire mold in the middle of the microwave. If not, both the sides will be cooked unevenly, which is what happened to me. So for this whole set, right, you're supposed to have 2 burgers, but only managed to make 1. So you can see now that I'm cutting out the packaging according to the dotted line so that I can have everything ready. So now what I'm going to do is to be preparing the cheese part, because this is a cheeseburger. So same thing, you can see we are taking out the powder, putting in the water and mixing it. And then from the packaging, you will see that there's this mini portion where it allows you to spread your cheese. So basically, you just use your hand here. I feel that it's easier. So just try to put it inside the dotted lines that they have provided. Actually, they're quite easy to spread. So just use your fingers. And then after that, we just use the knife and cut along the dotted lines. So we're trying to get out 2 cheese here. You see, just cut it so that it's squarish. So we have 2 cheese. And then we're gonna prepare the I think this is the tomato. Yep. So this is the sauce for the French fries. So it's supposed to be a little bit watery, which is why I believe this is the last step, because we are just gonna put it on the menu like that so you can dip the fries like what we do in real life. Alright, then the last part will be doing the burger. So just use the knife, do like what I'm doing. And then you can see the last one, I didn't manage to put it up because it isn't as cooked. So we are only gonna be working with 1. So for 1, you can cut it into half. So the top part from the top of the burger and the bottom one is the bottom of the burger. For the meat, you can also cut several meat at once. I managed to cut 3 of them. So we'll just be doing a triple stack and get 1 huge cheeseburger. So it's like a set. So just stack the cheese, the burger, and the meat together to form your little burger. So for the last one, I really cannot get it out, so just be careful of these, which is why the microwave part is very important. Yeah, if you don't like the microwave thingy or your house didn't have a microwave, then you can choose a candy kit that don't use a microwave. So I have several of that in the next few sets that I'm doing. So the last part is preparing the Coke, but I think this isn't Coke, this is more of a Fanta grape. So yeah, it fizzes and it really tastes like grape. So just put it in, mix. And the set is ready. We just need to make everything nice. So I'm bringing my OCD self and clearing up the table. And next up, we are gonna be doing some final touches. So on the packaging, they'll also be providing some packaging details like the sleeve for the cup, the packaging for the fries. So I'm basically cutting them out. They also provided instructions at the back, so you don't have to worry on how to tape them. But you do need extra materials like tape, which is not provided in the kit. And once you have everything up, it's just a matter of placement. So you can see that I'm putting the fries inside just to make it more presentable for the camera, and then setting up everything. So I think it's not too bad for the first try. So we managed to get the drink, the burger, the fries, and the sauce. There's supposed to be 2 burgers, but at least I succeeded in having one. So here's the final look of everything. Let's cue the B-roll. Now that we have more experience, let's try the ice cream one. So same thing, just open the thing and you see that the packaging, they can all be used, so don't rip it. Okay, use the scissors and cut on the dotted line provided and take out all the materials. And from experience, since we know that all the packaging will be used, so I'm cutting out everything first so that we don't have a bottleneck later. So just do everything gently, don't rip it. So here's a close-up of the packaging. I believe this one is for the cups of the ice cream, so we'll just do that later. We're gonna cut off everything first. If you're wondering how I know where to cut, it's all at the back of the box. I just like cutting all of them out. They actually label 1, 2, 3, 4, but you know, I just like labeling everything out so I can be more efficient. So here's the ice cream scoop. So the second part is to scoop the ice cream and the other part is the measuring scale for the water. So I think this part is supposed to be the cup of the ice cream. So I cannot really pop it out, so I use a scissors to cut it out. Alright, so we have 2 of these. Actually, I'm not really sure if it's supposed to be pop out or cut, but then I see that the picture of the box is cut out, so I just cut it out. It's completely up to you. So this is a candy kit, so you can play however you like. So I'm moving on to cutting the packaging. One downside is probably that it's not self-adhesive, but I think it's really hard because this is a packaging, so you probably just need to prepare some tape. I'm using like basic washi tape that I have at home. Okay, so for this part we will be doing the ice cream colors. So basically there's yellow, pink and blue, and the steps are exactly the same. You pour the powder in, put the water that is stated on the box and mix them. But one thing interesting though that is different from the previous burger set is that this one you have to wait for it to settle. So you can see that after stirring, right, it will be a bit watery, but you have to give it some time for it to settle. So usually after you do the molds and everything, it should be basically done. So basically the three things that you see me working on right now is the place where you put your ice cream, where you're gonna scoop the ice cream up. So whenever in doubt, you just have to look at the back of the box. So I'm putting it aside for it to settle, and then we're gonna work on the strawberry next. So strawberry one is in red, so this one is kind of cute. I think it's a bit like jelly from all the videos that I see on TikTok and Instagram. So same thing, put the powder, put the water and stir. So this one, the cup is a little bit small, so I'm using the back of the spatula to do the stirring. So I think this one is kind of cool. If you do make your own jelly in real life, you also know that, you know, when we do the jelly, we also need it to give it time to settle, which is same for the jelly. So basically you pour it inside the molds and then you have to wait for it to settle. I have a couple of jelly left, and that's the part that we're gonna let it settle in the cup itself so that it becomes a jelly. Okay, it's all not going to waste. So we're gonna leave them all at a side to settle while we work on the next one. So we are gonna mix. I believe this is the banana one, so it's starting to mold up. So basically when it's mold, then you take it out and you can see that on the packaging there's a long cylinder shape. So that's basically where you're gonna put the banana. So just roll it with your hand and then use the back of the spatula to cut it. So you can get several mini bananas. I really love these. I really love how this whole candy kit is so creative and they make use of every single thing, from the packaging box to the packaging paper. Even the spatula can be used double-sided. So you can see that after cutting them up, I'm rolling them up a little bit just so that it can look a little more like the banana. So now for this part, we're gonna be making the chocolate that we're gonna drizzle on the ice cream. So same thing, the powder, the water, and then mix. So you can see the chocolate is more watery because it's meant to be drizzled, it's not meant to be solid. Okay, so it's perfectly normal. So now basically what we're gonna do is to settle everything up. So I'm taking out the jelly. Just give it a light pop and then you'll pop out. And then just check if the strawberries are done. If not, just move on to scooping the ice creams. So basically what you're gonna do to make the ice cream scoop is to play around with the blue, pink and yellow. So you don't have to just stick to like one particular color. You can mix and match them, which is the whole fun in it. It's like playing with Play-Doh and mixing the Play-Doh. So for this part, I actually found out that after I make a few scoops, the actually scooping like that is a little bit hard, which is why you'll see that I swapped to using the spatula. So I will use the spatula to scoop the ice cream, put it in the scoop so that I can do the nice spear shape. So just make a couple around like 8 to 10. So I actually use everything up. I don't want everything to go to waste. And it's actually kind of addictive. So once you're done, just place everything onto the packaging that we cut out. Yes, I'm being OCD again and cleaning up everything. So I'm just taking out the strawberries. And then we'll set everything up. So there's a heart-shaped portion there for you to put your jellies. So cute. Okay, let's clean up everything. And now we'll prepare the ice cream. So you can see, just take from the scoop that you have scooped out and put it inside the small cylinders. And if you want any toppings like the chocolate or jelly, just place it on. And don't forget about your bananas. They also provided sprinkles, which is super cool. So just take a little bit and sprinkle. So I did one with chocolate and sprinkles and the other one with jelly. So I actually tried out the jelly and banana. They actually tasted like jelly and bananas. For the ice cream part, it's a bit sweet. But yeah, I think this is a really fun experience. I would definitely be buying more if I were to be hosting. And everyone can just pick one and we can do together. So next step is the party pack. I believe this one don't need to use any microwave. If you have skipped to this timestamp, just make sure to not rip the packaging apart because you'll be needing it. Use a scissors and cut along the dotted lines. So from experience, you know what I like to do. I like to cut everything out first, all the molds, all the measuring scale, so that it's easy for us to make all the food later. Okay, we'll start with making the jelly again. I really love the jelly a lot. I think it's probably the only one that I will eat. The rest are really too sweet for my liking. But it's fun to play with. So for this one, I think we'll need two cups of the measuring scale. Once you're done, we're gonna mix. So the spatula for this is a little different. It's a bit smaller compared to the previous toolkit that we have played with. So just stir. It will be a little bit watery, but don't worry. We'll be putting them into the mold and then putting it to the side for it to rest. So it's supposed to be just nice. And then I'm using a tissue paper to clean up the spatula that will be kneading it. Okay. And then so for this one, it's really a dough that they prepared for us. So we're just gonna use our hand to roll it up so that it's easier. Put it on the cylinder thing at the back of the packaging that we have cut out. So this is the corn. So I'm just gonna make it nicer. Put it there. Okay, so for the next one, we're putting it in the middle part. So I believe this is the part that we're gonna roll the corn on. So you know how when you eat corn, there are like many mini corns. So for the dough part, we're making the shape, and for this part, we're putting the thing inside so that we can roll the corn onto it. I think this is pretty cool. So if rolling doesn't work, what I do is that I will take out the dough and then just stick it on. If you're wondering if the dough is sticky, yes it is, and I think it's meant to be so that it can stick up all the mini corns. So this part you really have to do it gently, if not the mini corns will get onto your jelly and onto other molds. So that you can see that I'm just using my hand now and trying to fill up all the spaces. So I got a couple onto the jelly. So I'm trying to like pluck them out. Just use a spatula, try to put them out. So this part, do it gently, if not you'll have trouble like me. So for this one is the blue one. So powder, water, mix it. So honestly, I think this one looks differently because my end product actually looks super different from the packaging box. But it's okay, we all learn from our mistakes. I think this is for the bingsu, so we're gonna put it inside the mold. You can see that I'm pouring back in. So for this one, I didn't try the blue one. Usually I will try a little bit of everything, but I didn't try the blue one because it looks super duper sweet. Okay, next time we are doing our bananas. I actually like doing bananas a lot. Because they are doughy, I can use my hand and roll it into shape. So same thing, powder, water, mix. Mix, 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 mix. So try to do it gently, if not you will get all onto your table. So I kind of have a lot of powder left, not sure why. So I'm trying my very best to pick up as many as I can. So sometimes if you feel that you have not enough water, you can also put a little bit more, but don't put too much. But if you're satisfied, like me, you can just lift it up with your hand and do the molding part. It's way easier. So for this banana is different from the first two kits that we have done. There's actually more for you here. So just split it into 3. Put it onto the mold. If it's too fat, just give it a bit of rolling. So we're using this one again, but it's all stuck, so I'm just using a bit of water to clean it up and then use a tissue to dry it. Okay, next part we're gonna prepare the chocolate. So powder water mix. So for the chocolate, it's supposed to be a little bit watery, a bit liquidish, because it's meant to be for the bananas. So remember how I said I did the bingsu wrongly? So I actually did it wrongly. This blue part is supposed to be the liquid part where you sprinkle on the top of the bingsu. So I'm trying to salvage it. So I'm putting the blue one inside the other mold that we have and using the bingsu packaging. So I think my mistake was actually using the wrong packaging color. So it's supposed to be this bingsu first. Like, it's supposed to be spread until it looks like sticky, dewy, and a little bit white. I also think I made a mistake here. It's not supposed to be the big one, because I didn't actually fill it to the top, but in the image it's supposed to be filled to the top. So I probably did something wrong here, but no, overall it's still kind of fun. And then we're sprinkling the blue part on top for the bingsu. So I feel that even if your steps, you do the steps wrongly, you can still kind of salvage it with the tools that you have. So corn done, bingsu done, we're gonna do the banana part. So they actually provided toothpick, so basically you poke the toothpick in. It's a bit like satay, you know, or doing the fondue thingy. Or preparing for a party, and these are mini stacks. So the jelly are done too. You can see they're in little bell shape, super cute. So jelly done, pretty straightforward, just for the banana. So for the banana, we are gonna dip it inside the chocolate and then the sprinkles that they provided. I think the fun part about Candy Kit is that they actually mimic real life scenario on how we do all of these. Even the banana and sprinkle part is exactly the same. Then you put your banana, dip it inside the chocolate before doing the sprinkles. which makes this like super fun. I highly recommend you doing it if you're looking for something fun to do at home. So let's clear the table and let's show you the close-ups. Now for our last cube, which is the chocolate fondue. This is probably my favorite because I love eating fondue in buffets in real life. So if you're skipping to this timestamp, just know that the instructions are at the back of the packaging box. When you pull it out, don't just rip the packaging apart because we need every single part of it. Just cut along the dotted lines of the packaging. So once you cut it out, just take out all the ingredients and place them nicely so you know everything that is inside, and then we will just continue to cut the packaging along the dotted lines. So I really like doing this part first because it's just neater and I can see everything I have, and it's also to prevent any mistakes. So for kit 3, I think I made a couple of mistakes. But mistakes are just part of the fun. There's always a way to salvage it. Even if we do not have a way to salvage it, at least, you know, we had fun. So that part is for the fondue. And then for the remaining, I'm just cutting it out. Yep, so that's everything that we have. And the next step is me cutting out all the molds. So again, if you want to know where to cut the molds, it's actually on the back of the instruction. The instructions are on the back of the box. And just cut it. So basically, candy kits are pretty straightforward. They provide you with everything. All you have to do is to prepare water, scissors, and some kit will need you to have microwave. I believe this kit does. And then you just have to use everything that they give, look at the instructions, and then follow accordingly. So for this kit, we're starting off with the jelly first. This is my favorite. I think there's also a reason why they put it on the step 1, cause for jelly, when you mix it, it will still be a little bit liquidish. You actually have to put inside the mold and let it rest so that it can harden. So a little bit like how we make jelly in real life. I think that's the fun part of candy kit. And once you have mixed, just put it inside the mold using the spatula. So I think it's supposed to be just nice. If not, that means that you put too much water. Alright, and then I'm using a tissue to wipe the spatula and also the mold because you'll be using it after. I just like to make sure everything is clean. Okay, and then for the jelly, just leave it at the side to rest while you work on the next step. So usually after you're done with all the ingredients, the jelly will usually be done already. So for this next one, I believe is the banana. Oh no, it isn't a banana. I think this is the one that we need to use the microwave. So I'm putting a little bit more water here because a lot of powder is not being mixed in. Don't put too much though, if not it will be overly watery. Okay, so for banana, just use your hand, roll it put it on the cylinder thing on the packaging, and then you can see that there are dotted lines. So basically we're gonna cut on the dotted lines. So use the back of the spatula, cut it. And then we are done. So I like to give it a little roll so it actually looks like banana. And then place it on the packaging that says banana. So this is basically plating. So next up, I believe is the cake, and this part we have to use the microwave. So do the same thing, put in the powder, put the water, mix it. The trick is using the microwave. So I've learned from experience that you cannot burn it, if not it cannot be cut, or if it's not cooked, it cannot be taken out. So you have to make it just nice. A trick is to do like 10 seconds interval, 10 seconds interval. So for this one, I think it's pretty okay. I managed to get some out, but it's not completely cooked. But you know, at least I have a little bit. I think it's better to be not cooked than burn, cause burn I cannot cut it at all. For this one, at least I can cut it nicely. So I managed to get 4 heart shapes out. Way better than the first kit where we do the hamburger where I cannot even cut the fries. At least this one we can cut easily with the spatula. Alright, so now we're gonna do the jelly. So I'm using the toothpick and slowly taking them out. And then we're just putting it on the plate. So we have 3 ingredients done now. And I'm just going to prepare the next one. So this one I believe is the marshmallow. So they're already given you in the package. We don't actually have to do anything. So they're actually marshmallows, but they're just super mini and they also taste like marshmallows. Okay. And then the last ingredient that we have is the sprinkles. So we're using the mold that we have and pouring the sprinkles in so it doesn't get anywhere. I just like it like that. So you can see that I'm cleaning up the one with the mold so that we can put the sprinkles in. Ta-da! Okay, so what we are left with is the fondue. So we have 2 flavors. One is the chocolate, one is the strawberry. So they're supposed to be a bit watery. So essentially it's just putting the powder and the water and mixing them. So for the fondue, I actually tasted everything. So the jelly tasted like jelly, the dough tastes like dough, the marshmallows are actually marshmallows, and bananas taste like bananas. The chocolate and strawberry flavors are also very nice. This one is actually the best one out of all 4 in terms of taste. Like, it's not too sweet. I think it's also because they have a wide variety of ingredients, which is why not everything is powder. So when you're doing the sauce, right, you really have to stir it gently. If not, it will go to the other side, and then you won't have a pure chocolate or pure strawberry. It will be like a mix. So you can see that I'm trying to do it very gently here. So once you're done mixing, just place the sauce in the middle, and that's basically your plating. And now for the most fun part is to use the chopstick that they provided and mix and match your own ingredients. So for this one, I mixed jelly and marshmallows. And then the next one, I do bananas. So, and then dip it inside the chocolate and some sprinkles. More marshmallows. I wonder if we can, do the BBQ marshmallows. So for this one, I dip it inside the strawberry and some sprinkles. So more jellies, cause I love them. And more marshmallows.